375, 375. Now 400. Bid 400, now 4 quarter. 400 bid, now 4 and a quarter. Bid 4 and a quarter, 425. Now 4 and a half. I'm 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half. Now 475. Bid 475. Sold 4 and a half. Sold 4 and a half. Lot number 89 is your 2001 Honda Accord, folks. This is your 2001 Honda Accord, folks. I'm at 2.5, now 275. 2.5, now 275. 275, now 300. Bid 300. 275, now 300. Now 3 and a quarter. 3 and a bid, now 3 and a quarter. Now 3 and a half. I need 3.5. 3.5, now 375. Bid 375, now 400. Now 4 and a quarter. 4 and a bid, now 4 and a quarter. 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half. I'm 4 and a half, now 475. Bid 475. Sold 4 and a half. Sold 4 and a half. Lot number 90, rebuild salvage, folks. Rebuild salvage 2009 BMW 3 Series, folks. Here we go. I'm at 200, now 2 and a quarter. 2 and a half, 275, 300, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, now 375. Bid 375, 400, now 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half. 4 and a half, now 475. Bid 475, 475, 500, now 5 and a quarter. Bid 5 and a quarter, 525, 5 and a half, now 575. 600, now 6 and a quarter, now 6 and a half, now 675. 700. $700, bid 700. Sold 675. Sold 675. Lot number 91 is the 1999 Toyota Camry. We got a few of the 1999 in my favorite year. Toyota Camry, folks. Here we go. 2 and a quarter, now 2 and a half, now 275. Bid 275, 275. Now 300. Bid 300, now 3 and a quarter. 3 and a bid, now 3 and a quarter. Now 3 and a half. I'm 3 and a half, now 375. Now 400. Bid 400. 375, now 400, now 4 and a quarter. 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half, now 475. 475, now 500. Bid 500. Now 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter, now 5 and a half. I'm 5 and a quarter, now 5 and a half. Bid 5 and a half. 5 and a quarter, now 5 and a half. Sold 5 and a quarter. Sold 5 and a quarter. Lot number 92 is the 2009 Cadillac CTS, folks. 2009 Cadillac CTS, folks. Here we go. 3 and a half, now 375. I'm at 3 and a half, now 375. Bid 375, 400, now 4 and a quarter. 4 and bid, now 4 and a quarter. Bid 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half. I'm 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half. Bid 4 and a half, 450, now 475. I'm 475, now 500. Bid 500, now 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter, now 5 and a half. Bid 5 and a half. 5 and a quarter, now 5 and a half, now 575. 575, now 600. Bid 600. Sold 575. Sold 575. Next up is going to be lot number 93. This is a salvage, folks. 2004 Honda Accord. Salvage, salvage, salvage. 2004 Honda Accord. I'm at 2 and a quarter, now 2 and a half. 2 and a quarter, now 2 and a half. Bid 2 and a half. 2 and a half, now 275. 275, now 300. Bid 300, $300. 275, now 300, now 3 and a quarter. 3 and a bid, now 3 and a quarter. Now 3 and a half. Bid 3 and a half. Now 375. 375, now 400. Bid 400. 375, now 400. $400, now 4 and a quarter. 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half. Bid 4 and a half. Sold 4 and a quarter. Sold 4 and a quarter. Here we go. 2012 Hyundai Azera, folks. 2012 Hyundai Azera, folks. I'm at 1,050 now, 1,100. 1,100 now, 11 and a half. Then 11 and a half, now 1,200, now 12 and a half, now 13. I need 13. 1,300, now 13 and a half. 14, now 14 and a half. I'm at 14 and a half, now 15, now 15 and a half, now 16. I'm 1,600, now 16 and a half. Bid 1,650, 1,650. Now 17. I'm 1,700, now 17 and a half. Bid 1,750, 1,750. Sold $1,700. Sold $1,700. Lot number 95, rebuild salvage 2008 Mazda 6, folks. Rebuild salvage 2008 Mazda 6. Rebuild salvage. 3.5 now 375. I'm at 3.5 now 375. Bid 375 now 400. Bid 400. 375 400. Now 4.25. 400 bid now 4.25. Bid 4.25. 425. Sold $400. Sold $400. And lot number 96 is the 2007 Dodge Charger, folks. Lot number 96 is your 2007 Dodge Charger. I'm at 2.25 now 2.5. 2.5 now 275. 300 now 3.25. 3.25 now 3.5. Bid 3.5 now 375. 375 now 400. Now 4.25. 400 bid now 4.25. Now 4.5. Now 4.25. Now 4.5. Now 4.75. Bid 475. 475. 475. Now 500. Bid 500. 475. Now 500. Now 5.25. 500 bid. Now 5.25. Bid 5.25. 525. Now 5.5. Up 5.5. Now 575. Now 600. Bid 600. Now 6.25. Bid 6.25. 625. Sold $600. Sold $600. Lot number 97 is going to be the 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis. This is your 2004 Mercury Grand Marquis, folks. 375, 400, now 4.25. 400 bid, now 4.25, now 4.5. I need 4.5. 4.5, now 475, now 500. Bid 500, now 5.25. 500 bid, now 5.25. Now 5.5. A 5.5. Now 575. Now 600. Bid 600. $600. Now 6.25. 6.25. Now 6.5. Now 675. Bid 675. $675. Now 700. I need 700. 675. Now 700. Bid 700. Now 7.25. 700 bid. Now 7.25. 725. Now 7.5. I'm 7.25. Now 7.5. Bid 7.5. Now 775. 7.5, now 775. Bid 775. Sold 7.5. Sold 7.5. Lot number 98 is going to be the 2003 Honda Accord. 2003 Honda Accord, folks. I'm at 5.5, 575, now 600. Bid 600, now 6.25. 6.25, now 6.5. Now 675. Bid 675, now 700. Now 7.25. 7.25, now 7.5. Now 775. Now 800, now 8.25. 800, now 8.25, now 8.5. Of 8.25, now 8.5. Now 875. Bid 875, now 900, now 9.25. 900 bid, now 9.25. Now 9.5. I'm 9.5, now 975. Bid 975, now 1,000. Bid 1,000, 1,050. Bid 1,050, needs 50. Now 1,100. I'm at 1,100, now 11.5. Bid 11.5, 1,150. 1,150. Sold $1,100. Sold $1,100. Lot number 99 is going to be the 2014 Audi A6. 2014 Audi A6, folks. Your lot number 99. Here we go. 575, now 600. Bid 600. 6.25, 6.5, 675, now 7. 7.25, now 7.5. 775, now 800. 8 and a quarter, now 8 and a half. Bid 8 and a half, 8 and a quarter, now 8 and a half. Bid 8 and a half, 850, now 875, 875, now 900. Bid 900, 875, now 900. Now 9 and a quarter, 9 and a bid, now 9 and a quarter, now 9 and a half. I need 9 and a half, 9 and a quarter, now 9 and a half. Bid 9 and a half, 950. Sold 9 and a quarter, sold 9 and a quarter. Lot number 100 is going to be the 2000 Chevrolet Blazer, folks. This is your 2000 Chevrolet Blazer. 2 and a quarter, not 2 and a half. I'm 2 and a half, now 275. Bid 275, 275, now 300. Bid 300, now 3 and a quarter, now 3 and a half. I'm 3 and a quarter, now 3 and a half. Bid 3 and a half, now 375. 3 and a half, now 375, now 400. Bid 400, 375, now 400. Now 4 and a quarter, 4 and a bid, now 4 and a quarter. Bid 4 and a quarter, 425. Now 4 and a half. I'm 4 and a quarter, now 4 and a half, now 475. Bid 475. Sold 4 and a half, sold 4 and a half. Lot number 101 is going to be the 2002 Chevrolet 2002 Chevrolet Cavalier. Here we go. 2 and a quarter, not 2 and a half. I'm 2 and a quarter, not 2 and a half. Bid 2 and a half, 2 and a quarter, not 2 and a half. Now 275. Bid 275, 275. 275, now 300. Bid 300, now 3 and a quarter. Bid 3 and a quarter, 325. Sold $300. Sold $300. Lot number 102 is the 2016 Mazda 3, folks. This is your 2016 Mazda 3, folks. I'm at 32 and a half, now 33. 33 and a half. Bid 33 and a half, now 34. 3400, now 34 and a half, now 35. 3500, now 35. 3600, now 36 and a half. Bid 36 and a half, now 37. 37 and a half, now 38. 38 and a half, now 39. 3900, now 39 and a half, now 4,000. $4,000. 4,050, now 41. 41 and a half. Bid 41 and a half, now 42. 42 and a half, now 43. 4,300. 43 and a half, now 44. 44 and a half, now 45. 45 and a half, now 46. 4,600. 4,600. Now 46 and a half, now 47. 47 and a half. Bid 47 and a half, now 48. 4,800, now 48 and a half. Bid 4,850, now 49. 49 and a half, now 5,000. Bid 5,000, now 51. Bid 5,100. 5,100, now 52. 5,200, now 53. Bid 53. 5,200, now 53. Now 54. 5,400, now 55. Bid 55. 5,400, now 55. Sold 5,400. Sold 5,400. (2006) Nissan Sentra is your lot number 103, folks. Here we go. 2006 Nissan Sentra. Here we go, folks. I'm at 2 and a half, now 275. 2 and a half, now 275, now 300. Bid 300, $300. 275, now 300, now 3 and a quarter. 300 bid, now 3 and a quarter. 325, now 3 and a half. I'm 3 and a half, now 375, now 400, now 4 and a quarter. 400 bid, now 4 and a quarter. 4 and a quarter, 425, now 4 and a half. I'm 4 and a half, now 475. Bid 475. Sold 4 and a half. Sold 4 and a half. Lot number 104 is a 2023 Kia Sportage. Lot number 104, folks, is the 2023 Kia Sportage. 200, not 50. I'm 5,300, not 54. Bid 54. 5,300, now 54. Bid 54. 5,400, now 55, now 56. Bid 5,600, now 57. 5,700, now 58. 58, 5,800, 5,859. Now 6,000.